Today we are going to do a quick revision of the chapter which will make you ready for your upcoming exams. Okay, so before we start with the word electricity, we need to go back to our class 9 ka atoms. There's a nucleus, it has protons and neutrons, and then there are shells around the atoms, right? There are shells, we name them K, L, M, N, and in these shells there are electrons, right? So why am I talking about these electrons if our chapter is electricity? The main thing is when these electrons move, then something is produced which is known as electricity. Okay, so how can we define the word electricity? We can define electricity as the movement of electrons. The movement of electrons. What is electricity? It is the movement of electrons. Okay, electricity is nothing but it is the movement of electrons. Okay, so that was a basic idea of what is an electricity. Okay, so electricity aa gaya hai, so let me tell you about the charges as well. Okay, charges, we all know there are two types of charges. Okay, there are two types of charges. First one is positive charge and second one is negative charge. Electron is a negative charge, remember. Okay, so there are some properties of these charges. Positive charge and positive charge, they will repel each other. And a positive charge and a negative charge will attract. What they will do? They will attract each other. A boy and a girl will always fall in love, but a boy and a girl will not fall in love until and unless they are, you know what I mean, right? So that's a basic analogy how we can remember this. Positive charge and positive charge will repel each other. Negative charge and negative charge will repel each other. But on the other hand, positive charge and negative charge will attract each other. Okay. We know charge with the word Q. Okay, don't forget. And its SI unit. Its SI unit is SI for System International. It is Coulomb. We do not read the letter C. Don't forget. This is a unit of charge. So there's a very basic question which comes in exams very often, that is, in 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons are there? That's a simple. I'm writing the question in short. I hope you will understand this. So in 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons are there? How can we solve this? Given that in one electron, remember this is a thing which you have to remember. In one electron, there are 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of charge. This is a very important and you have to remember this. Okay? So how can we begin? So we know 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb is equals to the 1 electron, right? 1 electron. 1.6 into this much charge has 1 electron. So we have to find 1 coulomb में कितना होगा. So 1 coulomb equals to ये वाला पार्ट, इसमें इतना coulomb में इतना इलेक्ट्रॉन है, तो 1 coulomb में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन है वही तो फाइंड करना है ना. तो 1 coulomb में कैसे करेंगे? This part will go that side, divide हो जाएगा. 1 divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So if you solve them, you will get, कैसे solve करेंगे? That's the main question, right? Many people get confused how to solve this. क्या करना है? जो 10 to the power minus 19 है उसको ऊपर लेके चला जाना है. Very simple. So minus हट जाएगा, 10 to the power 19 हो जाएगा, नीचे क्या हो जाएगा? It will be 1.6 implies. Yep, implies. So 10 to the power 19 by 1.6. You can just write as 10 into 10 to the power 18. मैंने break कर दिया. 10 to the power 19 you can write as 10 into 10 to the power 18 by 1.6. I don't have space. Let me write here. Okay. So if you solve them 10 by 1.6, if you divide them, you'll get 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons. So I hope it's clear. In 1 coulomb of charge, you have 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons. Clear? Then next thing is conductors and insulators. I know this word is very common to you all. From class 7 you all are studying these conductors क्या होते हैं, insulators क्या होते हैं. Very simple. Conductors are those materials जहाँ से electricity and heat pass होता है, and insulators are those substances from which electricity does not pass. But have you ever asked why conductors allow the flow of electrons and why insulators does not? The very simple answer is conductors has free electrons, while insulators does not have free electrons. I can show you with the help of a diagram. Suppose this is any compound. Suppose this is a brick block or anything. Okay, any substance. So if there are free electrons means what? Those electrons which can move freely. If there are free electrons, so when they move, क्या होगा? Electricity produce होगा. So when these free electrons move in a particular manner, that electricity is produced, which means what? Conductor से electricity flow हो रहा है. On the other hand, insulators इसमें बस atoms होते हैं and electrons होते हैं which are bound electrons, no free electrons. अगर free electrons होगा ही नहीं, they won't be able to move, and hence they don't move, no electricity is produced. That's why they don't allow the flow of electricity. I hope it's clear.